You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 20th meeting of the Michigan City Commission for Women. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to everyone that's watching. Thank you all for taking out the time of your schedule to come and meet today. And today we're going to begin our meeting with call to order. Roll call. Nyla Williams. Present. Keisha Ward. Here. Angela Carter. Present. Jacqueline Jones. I'm present. Kiana Edwards, not here. Sarah Jones, not here. I believe that's it. And Daisy Lee. Absent. Okay, next on the agenda, after our roll call, will be a guest speaker. We invited a guest speaker. Her name is Tamisha Blakely. Oh, I'm sorry, and Linda Conley is present. Hello. 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 You can. How you doing? Okay. Good. We just took roll call.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. And now I'm introducing on the agenda. Sorry. There you go. Sorry about that. On the agenda, we have a guest speaker this evening, and her name is Tamisha Blakely. And she's with SAVE, and I'll let you all, or Tamisha, sure, you can come and sit at the table next to Keisha if you want. Yes, you can join us at the table. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And will you introduce yourself?
My name is Tamisha Blakely. I am, of course, a resident here in Michigan City for 14 years. And I am the founder of SAVVY. It's an acronym for Sexual Assault Victims Equipped.
Okay. Can you tell us about SAVVY?
SAVVY is an organization founded solely from what I myself have experienced to be emotional support, all around support for those who have experienced and survivors of sexual assault.
Okay. And you're the founder?
Yes.
Okay. And you can just tell us about it.
Okay, so at least 68% of Americans have been either experienced sexual harassment or sexual assault of some kind. 1 in 5 women have experienced sexual harassment. 1 in 33 men have experienced sexual harassment. Out of 1,000 perpetrators, only 25 of those perpetrators are either convicted and imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here before you today because I am 1 of 5 women. And out of my 2 attackers, only 1 of them have been convicted and imprisoned, and the other remains free. I believe it is my God-given purpose and passion to make sure that those who have experienced sexual assault and those who are survivors of sexual assault, they get the help that I once needed at a time in my life when I didn't have it, and there was a time span in my life when I needed it, and they get that same help that they need. Sexual assault is not a subject that is widely talked about. We recognize breast cancer in the month of October. We recognize domestic violence, teen date, rape. We recognize a lot of things, but you don't really hear a lot about sexual assault. In other states, except for the Midwest area, they commemorate the month of April for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And it is commemorated with the teal ribbon. This year, I am proud to say, I'm re-picking up that torch and moving on with my purpose. I started about 3 years ago with sexual assault, and when I began, there was some women that I encountered that were survivors. My first attack began when I was 15, happened when I was 15. He groomed me from the age of 13. A few years later, in my 20s, and my son were in our home, my attacker broke into my house, robbed me, and raped me. As a result, my son is a result of my first rape, and I came out of the second one because of the prayers of my son and the help of my parents. And so my goal, SAVE, it is called SAVE, S-A-V-E, is founded on the belief that every survivor deserves a voice. It offers a comprehensive range of services, including emotional support, emergency counseling, medical referrals, educational resources. A lot of victims who have experienced sexual assault, it goes swept under the rug because they don't get the immediate help that they need. If you do not go to get the immediate medical assistance that you need, it's hard to prove, in fact, that you actually experienced sexual assault. So then afterwards, it's hard for the people to believe you, to say, okay, well, this did happen, because there's no evidence. And so as a founder of SAVE, I seek to partner with organizations like the police department, medical assistants, nurses, to be able to help coach these women from the moment of the attack until the very end, to give them the support that they need to say, I have a voice, I deserve to be seen, I deserve to be heard. We're creating a community of support where survivors can connect, heal, and rebuild. Through our services, we seek to empower victims to become victors. I chose SAVE assault. I chose sexual assault victors instead of victors, because I believe that victims, using the word victims, it binds them to a mindset that they will always be a victim, instead of encouraging them that they will become a survivor. To say that I'm going to always be a victim, at times victims become menaces to society. They make all the wrong decisions that plagues them for the rest of their life. I want to give them the hope and encouragement that they don't always have to remain a victim. They can become a victor and get on the other side of this thing, and possibly create a community and a circle of people where we can say we're not only trying to support them, but we're creating and inputting some preventative measures that when this happens, hopefully it doesn't happen as often, but when this happens, we can provide support, that it is just not something that is passed down from generation to generation. This year, I'm proud to say that we have gone in full speed ahead with celebrating the survivors. On February 22nd, we have a series of events, and it is on the back of the paper, that the handout. On February the 22nd, we have a photo shoot in preparation of the release of our very first SAVE magazine. On March 24th, our first monthly SAVE group support meeting will be held at Michigan City Public Library. On April the 12th, this event is one that is dear to my heart. It's our second annual event. I've partnered with the Michigan City Fire Department. For 11 months, women spend most of their day and time doing for everybody else. Not just women, but men as well. We spend most of our time rescuing everybody else. Children, we give them a lot of our time. We give our own children a lot of our time. The month of April, I partnered with the Michigan City Fire Department. We will undergo a simulation of a smokehouse. They've allowed us to go into a training house at the fire department, where our women, the participants, will be able to put on fire gear from head to toe. They will enter into a smoked out building. It's not real smoke. They'll enter into a smoked out building, and their only object for the mission is called Savvy Rescue Mission. Their only object is to rescue themselves. Anyone else, just themselves. I take a photo of each participant and place it on a life-size mannequin, and the firefighters go into the building before the participants enter. They hide the mannequin, and the participants are to go inside of the house, the training house, and find themselves. No one else, just yourselves. Pull yourself to safety. And then outside of the house, outside of the training house will be standing their family members and those who also went through the simulation the year before to be able to coach them on. So it's not like they're in there alone. They are in there by themselves, because some things we do have to go through alone. We're not going to always have a cheering team. But when they come out, and while they're in there, they can hear the sounds of the team outside cheering them on, letting them know that they can make it, and their only object again is to bring themselves to safety. I'm so happy about that one, because I was able to I was surprised that the fire chief agreed to it. I walked in there with boldness and just asked for what I asked for, and he agreed to do it, and he agreed to do it every year. And so we thank God for that as well. April 26th is our final event, which will be our Be Seen, Be Heard paint party. At the moment, I'm in the process of getting it confirmed at the Lebesnick Center, but I think I'm going to switch it, because I think I have too many participants that the Lebesnick Center would allow. So I'm going to switch the venue, but that is our final event. The basis of it is just to celebrate these amazing women who have experienced something that most people either don't have the encouragement to come out and say, I'm one of them, or they don't have the support.
Very good.
Very good. Awesome.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you find that most of these the victim and the attacker are known to each other?
Absolutely. Most of the time, the reason why it is not brought to the forefront is because it is either a brother, a stepdad, a father who also once experienced it, a mother who is lonely. It is either a cousin who is allowed to spend the night over the house, and the parents had no idea that they would do something like this. A stepbrother who's left at home with their stepsisters, step-siblings, out of jealousy. Most of the time, it is somebody that they know. Or in my situation, it's a close family friend. My aunt's father, my aunt's baby daddy, the oldest one, is also my son's sister. So they did not think in a million years that anything would happen to me while I was in her care. But while I was in her care, he groomed me from the age of 13 and then raped me at 15. Nobody knew.
What do you mean by grooming you?
Groomed me, began to tell me how pretty I was, how amazing I was, how I'm not like the rest of them, that I wasn't.
And he was 15?
How old was he?
How old was he?
Oh, he was well in his 30s.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, he attacked you when you were 15? Okay.
I was 15. He would get me things. He would buy me things. And so most of the time, it's somebody that you wouldn't believe in a million years that it would happen to you. Or it could be like my second attacker. He watched me. He lived across the street from my parents' house. He watched me. He let me know. He wrote me a letter just a few years ago because he wanted me to petition the judge to let him out. But he watched me. He said, you go to church. He said, your parents taught you to forgive. He said, you can't go to heaven without forgiving me. He wanted to meet me face to face because he knew I had never seen his face.
Oh, wow.
So I went to the deposition to meet him. He sent his lawyer ahead of him. And because my story didn't change, he decided not to come into the room. So 9 times out of 10, it is somebody that has paid attention to your every move.
I ask because I don't believe in random acts.
Absolutely.
And I think that when I hear about attackers, someone that's been watching you, you may not see them, but they see you, and it's usually someone that you know or met in
Yes.
passing.
Absolutely.
You hardly ever hear people say that.
It's the
And
truth.
I'm glad
because
you brought that out.
It is, because we love, I kept it a secret, my first attack, for years. And I mean years, until my oldest was about 18, 19 years old. And the reason why I kept it a secret is because from him, there was so many people attached to it that would suffer from me coming out and me telling my truth. My aunt, her daughter, my parents, who are pastors, my grandfather, who's a bishop. There's so many people that it would have affected. And so I lied about it for a long time. I made up a whole other story because I didn't want to hurt the people that it would, it was
Even though you were hurting.
even though I was hurting. And for me, it wasn't, at that time, it wasn't about, I'm helping them. But then they didn't care about helping me. And it wasn't until the second time that I learned I gotta put me first. Because if I don't, then that fear of a thing will make it a reoccurring thing.
It'll grow.
It'll grow.
Can you go over again the percentage of those that has been prosecuted, or how does that look?
It is 68, every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. 25 out of 1,000 perpetrators are in fact convicted or imprisoned. Reason being is because you have to prove. It is so hard in America for women or men to prove that they have been sexually assaulted. One reason because when they first get sexually assaulted, the police officers go to the house. The victim is devastated. They don't want nobody to touch them. And so as a result, they get lost in the crime scene. Nobody really worries about the victim. In turn, the victim doesn't get sent to the hospital to get a rape kit. In turn, within the first 3 days, they lose any sense of evidence, any sense of DNA. And so as a result, it becomes between your word and their word to prove that you actually were assaulted.
How does it look like with the youth?
9 out of that 81% of women that are assaulted, 9 of them are children.
Okay.
9 out of 10 of them, most of the time, are children.
And how will your program, Savvy, right? How are you all going to be an advocate for children and women? What's your plan? How are you going to voice,
My goal is to partner with the police department. That's my initial goal. I want to partner with the police department that when a sexual assault case comes across their desk, and if that person doesn't have a support system, I would like for Savvy to be called in as an advocate to push them or support them in any way that they need. The initial recourse would be, I know, sometimes we don't think when you're in situations, you're not thinking clearly. They need somebody to be able to think clearly. Okay, I know you're scared. I know this happened to you, but I need you to go get checked out. I need you to go get a rape kit done. I need you to go get, go let someone look at you. Because if you don't do this, they won't be able to prove what they did. So my goal, that's my first initiative. I would like to talk to someone on the police department to be able to create a system or at least some type of connection to where when that happens, they can call us in. I've also, not too long ago, I met with someone at DCFS to be able to create a system with them as well. Because of confidentiality, they cannot give out names, but they can provide my information to the victims or their family members. That if in fact they come across someone that they feel may need my services, they can offer my organization to them, and upon their own cognizance, they can reach out to me.
I think you should reach out to, if you haven't already, because, you know, when they do go to the hospital, and they claim that, you know, they've been sexually assaulted, they see the same nurses there. Can't remember exactly what the acronym means, but the acronym means, I think it's sexual assault, something. But the same nurses, so they work with them. I get things sent to me to drop off to the same nurses, like underwear and t-shirts and kits for them. Each hospital is different, but maybe that is another avenue for you to leave your information with those same nurses, so after they do leave the hospital, they want to contact you.
Absolutely.
So I will give you the nurse's contact information.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Does anybody have any questions?
I do. So as I'm thinking, when you're a victim of any circumstances, usually you blame yourself. I think that's the number one thing.
Absolutely.
I hear a lot of young girls that talk about that, how if I could have did it different, or if I could have not wore the dress I wore, or whatever, and you're thinking it's not your fault. That's the first thing you know. No matter if it's a teenager or it's an adult, it's never your fault. And someone crosses that line. But like you said, they're watching, they can watch you for years. So, and I want to apologize because, like I said, especially for our society, because most people that get away with it, like you were saying, he says, oh, you go to church, you know, and they throw God up. You know what I'm saying? So, being that you have ministers and people in your family, but some things, you got to let God out of it. You know, you were the victim per se, but they will have their day. But then you gotta also trust the system, even though it's not trustworthy in some areas. Some people drop the ball, and like I said, I apologize for all the women that I knew, and I still know them today that still haven't came out. So I really appreciate your what you're doing for us here in the city.
Yes.
It takes a lot.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to comment as well. I just wanted to say that I appreciate your boldness, that you would come, that you would set up this, really an agency, but a ministry, that you would stand in the gap and be the one that says, send me, I'll go. I appreciate that very much. Having worked with youth for many years, I've encountered many young ladies, little girls, to me, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, who have confided in me and told me things horrible things. So for you to do that is so outstanding. I just want to say God bless you as you go, and be encouraged.
Thank you.
Because you're encouraging somebody else, and you're going to bless their lives for many years to come. Because like you said, they grow into women, and those women are carrying those things around. And that was another thing. I know it has blessed you to a certain degree, give you a new level of freedom and inspiration to be able to help somebody. I know that's freed you in some areas. So I just commend you for it.
Thank you so much. Can I say something? From the time those instances started, I thought that I was just, all alone. I just didn't have anyone. And there was an older lady. I lived in Terre Haute, Indiana, and there was an older lady. I hardly ever saw her, but I always saw her when I needed her. And I was sitting in college at Ivy Tech one day, and I was in school, and this happened. I was going to Ivy Tech, and I forced myself to continue to go on. And I walked in the building. I was wiping my face, trying to hurry up and put on a happy face for everybody that I was going to encounter. She was sitting at the door, and she said, butterflies are the most beautiful creatures. She said, however, butterflies, there's a point during metamorphosis where a butterfly can be the most hideous creature. She said, the reason I say that is because you are a butterfly. She She said, when a butterfly goes through metamorphosis, as it sheds its old skin and becomes the beautiful butterfly that it is, if something happens to it in the process of metamorphosis, it becomes half caterpillar, half butterfly. At that point, it dies because it doesn't have the assistance that it needs to continue the process of shedding what is old.
Mm-hmm.
If I can come across one woman and I am her only means of support, her only word of encouragement, then I have done my job.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I want to be to someone else. I'd hate to have to go through it and then not help someone else. So the goal is to pass it along, to create an organization that we can spread it across and create preventative measures and pass it along.
I have a question also. When this happened to you, did you find it hard for your family or people that knew these people to believe you?
It was impossible. When I say impossible, it was impossible because both times lie detectors test was ordered. Not from the detectives, because the evidence was clear. It was ordered from my family members. It was ordered and they needed to see the results. So me telling
For
them,
you to take the test for the perpetrator?
it was ordered for me to take the test. And they wanted to see the results.
Wow.
They did not believe me. Oh, he doesn't even have to ask for women. He's a ladies' man. You know, or you sure that you make I was told by a family member that you make our family look like we're raising harlots and prostitutes. And to this day, you know, they don't remember that they said it. There was no apology, even though the results came back that I was telling the truth. So it's impossible sometimes for family members to believe you because they see you all the time put on a happy face.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
is probably why a lot of women, girls do not report because they know that, well, what did, you know, it's not like, oh my God, the first thing I want to say is, well, what did you do? You know, like you said, what did you
Absolutely. And then they don't have that strong support system.
do?
And that's what I want to be. I want to be that strong support system to say, hey, I'll be your backbone until you can have it on your own. And I'll stand beside you in the midst of adversity. And when everybody else is saying you're lying, I'll believe you.
You work with the schools also?
I do. I am a substitute teacher. I haven't been there this school system, this last school year, but I am a substitute teacher since 2013. And I have been at several schools. My most favorite age group is the high schoolers. And most people would not tackle that age group, but that's my most favorite age group. And so I've come across a lot of young ladies and their parents who have entrusted them in my care and knowing that, you know, I have their best interest at heart.
Excellent. It does.
Wonderful thing that
Yes.
you're doing.
Yes.
Excellent.
Do you have any flyers, or is this what you pass out?
I do have some flyers. I just kind of created that for today so you ladies could have something to go by and something to take home. But I do have some flyers as well that I am preparing for, especially for the events that are coming up.
Can you send those to me so
I
I
will.
can print them and pass them out?
I
This
will
is wonderful. Thank you for doing
I
this.
will do. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you coming. Awesome.
I have one more question. Like, so when so this is your baby. How many people that works with you?
When I first started this is the reason why I took a year break. When I first started this, I had like 4 or 5 people working with me.
Okay.
And along the way, I've lost all of those people. And at the moment, I am working alone. And so I just told God, honestly, if I have to start it alone and pick up some people and some help along the way, I'll do that. I have a few people that just have kind of stepped in as amazing advisors and support and encouragement to say, okay, we're not gonna drop the ball, you know. And I have great friends who are there for me, but at the moment, I'm it.
Just continue to network. I'm sure you'll find more there, you know.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for being here.
Awesome,
you.
amazing,
You
amazing.
know, when you pour out and like women, what we do, and you know, we give. So you make sure you are taking care of you first, or else you won't be able to help these women. And I'm sure you know that and understand that. I'm talking about health wise and all that, because taking on and hearing these things that
It's heavy.
it's heavy,
Yes.
heavy.
Very much.
You know, so your stress levels, your blood pressure, and all those things, you know, you just have to be careful and just be, you know, wary about that and take care of you
Yes, ma'am.
because they need you. So I thank you for what you're doing. This is like a blessing, and thank you for sharing your story because you didn't have to.
No.
You didn't have
Very
to.
transparent,
Right,
very
right.
transparent.
So this is wonderful.
Appreciate you so much, and thank you, amazing program, so we appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you again for coming. Okay, ladies, we have, if you can take time to view the minutes, January minutes. I think we have a quorum. We do have a quorum. Daisy can't vote, but let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We have a quorum. And as we're reviewing, I'm sorry, I did leave something out, so I do know it has to be amended. I left out, and I apologize, us recommending Keisha to remain on the Michigan City Commission for Women's Board as a representative of Michigan City Commission for Women, and we all approved it. It was motioned and second, and I had left that out. So I will amend these minutes before submitting them.
Okay.
I don't think I added that in here. I may have.
Wondering why.
I thought it was mentioned in the last minutes. I could be wrong because I don't have my folder.
No, we just did it
Or
last,
something?
we did it last month, the last month's meeting. Charlene, Charlene isn't going to be with us anymore because her term expires. Yes.
Okay.
So Keisha's gonna remain on in Charlene's place. So I gave the recommendation and someone motioned it
Okay.
and then we approved it.
We had a couple of mentions of Kima Ward. I just wanted to.
Did I?
Yes.
I put that, I did, I apologize.
I see that several times.
I'm so sorry.
Let me make a few minutes.
I will update, I will make amendments to the, minutes. After you all view these and then add. No. We haven't. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
I'm just trying to understand what happened. I don't get it.
She can probably talk to you after
Yeah.
she'll probably talk to you after.
Okay.
Catch you up, okay? Okay, so I recommended it. Does anybody recall who motioned?
For what?
for Keisha to remain? I did the recommendation. And someone motioned.
I think it was Sarah.
Yeah, what's it say?
Sarah, and then someone second.
I think I second.
Did you? Okay. So, after reviewing, can we approve these minutes with the amendment of Keisha, the correction of the correction, it should read as Keisha Ward motion that the minutes be approved. December minutes, I'm sorry. So with that correction and also amending the minutes, add the motion for Keisha Ward to remain on with the Michigan City Commission for Women, replacing Charlene's term, which Charlene's term has expired. Jacqueline Jones recommended, Sarah motion, and Linda Conley second, and all was in favor, none opposed. With that amendment. Any other corrections before we make a motion to approve these minutes? Can someone make a motion to approve the minutes?
A motion that the minutes are approved and of the corrections made and the people and the new people or the people stay.
Anyone want a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, none opposed. Okay, next on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Charlene did provide us with the current balance, which is $13,648.63. Currently, that is the balance. However, there will be a disbursement of $2,500 for the budget of the International Women's Day. That hasn't been deducted as of yet. So again, currently the balance is $13,648.63. Does someone want to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we're at the old business. And our old business is the International Women's Day, which will be Saturday, March the 8th, 2025. The location will be Michigan City Senior Citizens Building. It will begin at 1 p.m. and conclude at 4. And a little bit, I'll catch you all up with that. As we continued moving forward with the planning part of it, the QR code was created. Do you all have a flyer? Do you have one? Okay, I'll give you a couple. I printed some off. If you could pass them, you can do two.
You do too?
Yep.
I do too.
If you need some too, if you could pass some to Keisha as well. You have enough? Okay. So, Daisy Lee created the QR code, and she also created the Eventbrite, which everyone registered for the to be able to attend through for the 2025 International Women's Day celebration. Daisy, I want to tell you, I really appreciate you. She did an excellent. She went over and above with creating the QR code and managing the Eventbrite, making certain everything is running correctly. I want to say, as of yesterday, when we sent the mass email, it's called the MailChimp. That was reset, and I'll talk about that a little bit. So it went out, a mass email throughout LaPorte County, and I believe by, I don't know, I want to say about 5, we found out all seats were taken. So we added on the additional 60 because we're going up to 200 with lunches. Paid lunches would be 200. And we'll talk about that. I think everybody was here except for Nyla last meeting. Was it? Let me see.
Karen Black, I missed them.
And we're currently at
Linda.
153 out of 160, so
Okay,
there's only
so-
7 spots open.
Right now, okay. Okay, so did you register? Okay, go ahead. No, we have a couple to the side.
I don't think I registered.
Okay, so you both need to register. If you're registered today, I think everyone else, did you register? You registered?
I don't see
Okay.
that even right though. When you send that out?
Well, you
Um,
want to explain how it
No.
goes, how they can get
Yeah,
on?
do you know how to use a QR code? So I want to give props to Sarah, because Sarah actually made the QR code. I just made the Eventbrite, but Sarah made this flyer.
Right, I was
with the
gonna,
QR code.
I was gonna, give her kudos too, for the flyer. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to take credit for her QR code, but do you know how to use a QR code?
Not really, but I'll figure it out.
Open up your camera.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, say it out loud because a lot of people
Okay.
don't know how, especially elderly people, so.
Well, I have some set to the side for seniors,
Okay, so
and I'm gonna register them.
QR codes are something new to the elderly people, so they don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I always
So,
keep that, but
If you open up your camera on your phone and you just put your camera, like you're gonna take a picture of the QR code,
Everything's in the bottom.
there's a little yellow bubble that'll pop up. It says, mine says open in Chrome, but yours might say open in whatever browser you have. Click that and then it'll open up the tab for you. And then you can just
Try it
register
again,
on
kind of bring it up higher, yeah, there you go.
let me go back, start back over this. Okay, then it says,
Just take,
go this right here.
yeah, hit that yellow. That'll take you right there.
Okay. Oh, here we go, yeah.
So I think majority of all of us has registered for it, but now that to catch you up a little bit on this, and also I want to thank Sarah. Sarah's not able to attend this evening, but Sarah did an amazing job with creating this flyer, and also Sarah also made certain that it was sent out through social media. Making certain the LaPorte County community was aware of this event taking place. So Nyla, we had stated that with the budget that we received, that we were gonna go up to 200 lunches. The caterer is Indiana Deli. They gave us a really good deal on these lunches. Actually, it was way under last year's price that they had for last year. Okay, so we saved quite a bit and was able to go above the 150 to 200. Okay, so that's where we got that number from. We also, with the budget is going to include the lunches, decorations, the printing if necessary, but again, I'm going to reach out to Terry Gretham to see if they would assist us in printing the brochures and the programs this year as well. Okay? So far, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have like small areas that's going to be manned. Daisy worked on the Eventbrite. Sarah worked on distributing the marketing part of it. I think.
Can I ask you a question
Mhm.
real quick? After the flyer was created, did I miss like an email? Was it sent out to all of us to review it before it went out to everybody?
I think I sent the link out to everybody
You did.
that Saturday.
Yeah.
If I missed you, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, it would have been nice to kind of review the flyer, make any suggestions or changes or anything, but nevertheless, here we are. And I just want to point out, I think back the last meeting I probably was at, I said I would help, but I don't see my name listed. It's like the greeters, I think I might have said, but if Angela and Linda got that covered, I don't know where else you would want me, and I don't know where in the program I would be on the panel. So would I be able to assist in another area? So if you need me somewhere, just let me know.
Okay, so let me share this. Daisy did send out, she sent out a link for all of us to review, and I'll take the bulk of everything. Honestly, March the 8th is like right around the corner. So we had to move forward with this. And I know that things happen. I know people get sick a lot, because I was sick at one point in time. I had pneumonia. So I get it. You know, we get people get sick, or emergencies come up, or have to go out of town. But honestly, Nyla, we had to move forward with it. Not saying that we wanted to omit you. I gave everyone the opportunity to meet for the retreat. We had the retreat, and I believe you were sick that day, and you weren't able to make it. So at the retreat, we went ahead and talked about different areas that everyone is going to, where their post is going to be. Because again, I'm the one that said we have to move forward with it, because we're on a short time.
Short timeline, so.
Yeah, so, but if you want to, some areas.
That's the one I was gonna do with the monitor.
Well, let me finish. If I can finish. So Nyla is one of the panelists, and Linda, and I believe let me back up before I say Linda. Angela and Daisy are going to be the moderators.
Okay, I was just gonna ask that.
Yep, they're going to be the moderators. Linda is going to be a greeter, and I believe, was it you as well, Angela? If you want to greet as well, or we have Sarah. We also have Sarah. I was going to ask you today, Keisha, since you did it last year, would you do the invocation for us again? Okay. I would probably be jumping into around the food area, and if anyone else can assist, because we're going to need help in that area as well to make certain that everyone is getting the right lunches. We probably will need at least 2 or 3 people back there. Okay? So we have the greeters. And, you're greeting, right, Linda? Mm-hmm. Angela, do you still want to greet as well?
Yes.
Okay. Nyla, do you want to greet?
If you need me.
Okay. So we have 3 greeters. I need assistance with the food area as well. So can someone assist me in that area? I'm going to ask Sarah, would she as well?
Like to make a list or to help people get
Well,
the order.
yes. So by Daisy Lee managing the Eventbrite, that will create a spreadsheet, right? So it'll have every person, every attendee on there, on that spreadsheet, last names or whatnot. And so with that, it'll also list the food item. With the caterer, I'm requesting that she has, because she's going to be there to set up. So I'm going to request that she has everything in certain areas, you know what I'm saying? So all we had to do is look at the name and go grab it and hand it to them. They will come through the door. I don't even think that they're going to have to check off. Then we determined that they're not going to have to check off at the front desk, because we're going to have to list by the food area, so that way we would know who attended the event and be able to keep the numbers. Does that sound like a good plan?
What do you mean, like, the greeters, so they come to the door, are we doing a check off with them at that point? Or are you saying, no, just wait until you get over to the lunch?
See, it'll be a spreadsheet. We have to have a spreadsheet
Okay.
where the food is, because we have to know
Right.
who's getting what lunch. So as we're checking off, remember everyone's name is on that spreadsheet. So we'll be able to determine who's there, because they're going to come and get their lunch. We'll know the numbers, we'll have the names. I'm sorry, go ahead, Daisy.
So with the Eventbrite, each person got emailed a QR code for their ticket. So the greeters could stand at the door with their phones scanning people's
Yes.
tickets, and then we automatically know who's there
Okay.
also. So if we want to do that food, that is an option.
And then just make sure the greeters just send them over to the lunch area.
And maybe we could reach out to Promise Scholarship people or the National Junior Honor Society at the high school, and they could help facilitate the food for volunteer hours.
Okay,
So then
that sounds like a
you
good
don't have
idea.
I can reach out to them, yeah.
Okay, so Promise, Scholars, and which one?
National Junior Honor Society.
Okay, but I'm gonna still be there with them as well.
Sure.
Keisha, were you gonna help back there too, or no? Or was it
Yeah, I was
Sarah?
just, like you said, we needed to be able to.
Yeah, I think we're
Yes,
still gonna
pass
need to
the word out.
oversee, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and that's fine too, but I think that we probably still need to be overseeing that area with them. Okay, so 2 of us will be back there with them.
Mhm.
That'd be nice, and they can get their volunteer hours, that's what you're saying? Okay.
So how many are you thinking, and will they be able to get a lunch?
So right now, Daisy has stated it's 153. So online, we went up to 160 for Eventbrite. I still have 20 on the side, okay? And that's gonna be for the seniors, for the ones that don't know how to activate the QR. For the seniors and any others, like last minute or something like that. Daisy has her 20 because 15 of those are gonna go to youth. Her youth, and then it's 5 extra, however, if it's council or whatnot. So it's 40 left over, okay? So we're going up to 200,
Gotcha.
okay? We may not even go to 200, it depends on how many, you know what I'm saying? So it may be 200. So, we wanted to make certain that you all were registered as well, because you all were in our 40 that we had left over. Okay, so we still, again, going to need 2 of us in that food area, so it'll be Keisha and myself, okay? And I'll work, and then if Sarah wants to as well, I'll ask her. Thank you for that suggestion, Daisy. So Daisy, you're gonna make sure that, can you print off, make sure we get a couple of copies printed off of that spreadsheet? Okay, so the greeters, it's gonna be 3 greeters at the front, so.
Wait a minute, I have a question, I have something to suggest.
Mhm.
I hope that it's not gonna be like it was last time when we had names that were in first names, and then some were under last names, and some people are under someone else's name, and let's just say Horizon.
But
It
see,
was Horizon, but we didn't know that, it was just confusing.
okay, so you all wouldn't have to be concerned about that, because all you all are going to do is take a picture, right? That's how you suggested,
I'll help you with you'd have to download the app, and then you just scan people's QR.
to make sure that they have a QR code to get in.
Okay,
Okay, so basically Keisha, Sarah, and myself will have to be concerned about the list.
okay.
Okay, so and Daisy, if you want to work back there with us, or I don't know what area, or if you want to just man, I know Kiana is going to man the vendor area, making certain that no one's around there or whatnot until it's time for the vendor and the community resources where people can walk around and view. During the program, we won't have them in the vendor area. Of course, we need to pay attention to the panel discussion and the speakers or whatnot in the presentations. But,
Okay, I have another suggestion, sorry. This is a lot.
what's a lot?
Just getting caught up. I'm glad we're talking about this now. Just wish I was, involved more. I would suggest printing off 2 copies,
2 copies of what?
that lunch list.
That's what we did. That's what I just asked her.
I don't know if you're misunderstanding me. 2 copies, one for the check-in to have, because everybody's not going to be familiar and know how to work with the phone and all of that. So I think having a list at the check-in and where the lunches are, that would be great. Because then, would that help you?
I honestly.
Because you see the names.
Okay, let me finish.
What's wrong?
Let me explain what I was saying, okay? Because we don't want to get it really complicated. I mean, I can be open, but again, don't want to get things complicated. It's a good, what I was saying, and I'm gonna explain what I was saying. So if you have the greeters and you all are greeting, right? Even if you're greeting them, the greeters have to do is greet them to the lunch area where the food is at. We'll have the list there. If they register for a lunch, that's the purpose for registering, is to get the lunch. So if they register for a lunch, Keisha, myself, or Sarah, we will be able to see that. So if their name is on the spreadsheet, they're gonna get their lunch. So therefore, basically Angie, Linda, and if you're at the door, you don't need to check anyone in. You can just say hi or whatnot. That's what we had thought about.
That wasn't stated, so we're just greeting them.
Yeah.
We don't have
Welcome
to check them
aboard.
in, we don't, not doing
Okay.
the same thing we did
Just
last
smile.
year.
Yeah.
Just
Smile.
bring them in, hey, how you doing, all
And
right,
then
go over there and
Get your lunch. Yeah,
Okay, good.
and I think that that'll make it
Because
easier.
you were at the just that front.
Yeah,
That was a
it was a
nightmare.
mess.
It was.
But thank God, Daisy, she said that she'll have the spreadsheet and she's gonna print out the spreadsheet. So it will be in alphabetical order and we can just go by that spreadsheet. So you all won't have anything to worry about. Just smile
Just say
with your
hello.
beautiful
Welcome.
smiles and say hello. And then just send them to the lunch. Does that sound like a plan,
That sounds like a
everybody?
winner to me.
I mean, I'm serious. Is that okay? Okay. I think that would, so it won't create any chaos or anything like that. We just want to make it as simple as possible, and then that all of us will have a good time as well. Okay? And I get what you're saying, Linda, because I observed that area. We weren't too much involved. You all, we were just last year basically being helpers, but I did observe that a little bit.
Okay, I have a
Okay.
question also. On the decorations,
I'm not there yet.
that's, down there. Okay.
I'm sorry.
We're still talking about food. Okay.
No, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So, and I'm gonna bring something up, recommend, and you all can decide if that's something that you would wanna do. So, with that, I was just going by what Nada, was asking, what areas that if everybody want, or whoever wanted to work in certain different areas. So are you good with that, Nyla? You just wanna work at the greeting? And then by that time, then you'll be ready to sit for the panel discussion?
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Daisy, is there any area that you would like to work at, or?
Well, if we're doing the moderating and I'm bringing 15 kids, I don't know if I'll be able to do.
I get it.
those.
I get it. Okay.
Where are your kids from?
My classes, I don't know if
High
I've
school.
asked anybody yet, middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so moving on, okay, now for the decorations, I don't know if you all recall, but I had stated maybe 200 or something, or did I state that last meeting, that maybe $200 budget or whatnot for decorations if
It
needed?
was.
So, I spoke with a young lady, and I'm just putting it out there, you all let me know what you think of, because previously, the $200 was gonna go to the ones that was gonna decorate, to get to purchase the decorations, and then you all would be responsible for setting it up. So spoke with a young lady, and she has a business, an event planning business. We were just in conversation because she likes what we're doing, and she's gonna be here. Her event planning business is gonna be here. So she did state this, based on what we're doing, and she attended last year, she enjoyed it. She said how we give to the community. She wanted to be a help and help us out too. So she asked, did we have someone to do the decoration or whatnot? And I told her we didn't hire anyone or whatnot. So what she offered is to purchase the tablecloths. She would purchase the tablecloths. She would provide the table settings, the centerpieces, the balloon columns, I think it is, and then she will create us a backdrop if we wanted to take pictures or whatnot, and she would match it at the 200. If you all want to do something like that, Or if you just want me to just turn the 200 over to you all, and you all go out and purchase the items and you all decorate. I just thought maybe it may save you all some time, but it's up to you all, because I know you stated that you're decorating too, right, Angie, or no? No.
It's
on there,
It's
but-
Keisha, Daisy, and Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right, you did say it. Okay. So Keisha, Daisy, and Sarah. So what do you all think? Sarah's not here. Oh, I did talk to Sarah about it yesterday, and she said it didn't matter to her.
Right,
So-
it doesn't, if she wants to do that, that's fine with me. I could still come and help her.
Mhm.
I mean, if she has a vision, I just like to get an idea of what it is and still come out and just
Okay.
help her.
And I know I stated a young lady, but I would announce her name after the meeting. And the reason being is because she's not promising to do that for every organization, okay? And I wanted to respect that, but I will inform you all who it is, okay? And then we can also,
The $200 you're saying?
no, what she'll do is the 200 that I would give you all to go out and purchase the decorations, and then you all decorating, that would be her fee.
Oh, okay.
She's not gonna give us 200.
When you said the match, I'm like, wow, that sounds really generous.
So who is it, well, as a committee, what do you all think? Nyla, do you have any input on that? Or what do you think?
Okay, so do we have to buy the supplies and then give her $200, or give her $200 and then she takes care of it all?
She takes care of all of
Then
it.
I think we need to go with the latter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
What do you think?
Angie,
Angie?
sounds good.
Oh, you're not decorating, but still, what do you think?
That's great. I mean,
Daisy?
take it away from us and give us
That's
more
what I
time
was
to do
thinking.
other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you all still wanna go out there, we have the venue from 8 o'clock actually until 10, but we don't need it that long, but we have it that long. So if we wanna get in there, or she wants to get in there that early, and if you all wanna still come out there and assist, we are saying that for the vendors that's going to be there, they have to, set up at 11,
Set up at 11?
Mhm.
Oh, that's on that.
So can someone make the recommendation, if that's what we're gonna do for the
I have
decorations?
one more question before we
I'm
do that. Can we decide, or have you all talked about a color theme or anything, so then we can then pass that along to her, and then so whatever she buys, and
I may
you know.
have, cause she asked what the colors
We
were,
did
and I
talk about
told
the
her,
color.
I told her it was purple.
Okay.
I told her it was purple, and she said she had purple.
Okay.
With
So,
some white
some
for the
purple.
outside tables,
White
remember we
and
talked about
purple.
the
The
tables,
serving
yeah.
tables?
Yes, they
Okay.
would be white.
I didn't know that was that.
Right, yeah, the colors are purple, so you know, and then that was last year too. I think International
Yeah, it
Women's
was.
Day colors.
Mhm.
Okay, so can someone make a motion if we're all in agreement for the decorations?
You gotta say her name.
I would just say, that the decorator, the decorator, right, but I can tell you all, I don't know how to do that.
I move that we.
Can you just give initials?
R, yeah. And then I'll tell you all her name
Okay.
afterwards. But you know what? I get what she's saying. And I know this sounds, I know it sounds strange, but I get what she's saying, because that's very nice of her, because that can be expensive. That's expensive.
Yes.
And then and then she's saying she's not promising, because people will like, well, you did that for Michigan City Commission for Women. What about us? Why can't you give us a deal on this? Or why can't you, And so I don't want to throw her out like that. I want to, she just asked if we wouldn't announce that's what she's doing for us.
But did you just say she volunteered that, right? It wasn't like
Yeah.
I think she should be announced.
Well, we can give her kudos, or I don't want to say kudos, recognition at the event. We can do
Okay.
that and let everybody know,
That's great.
tell them the name of her.
Yeah.
But they don't have to know what she did, and like now, they don't have to know.
Okay.
Because this is being recorded. Is that okay? Okay. Just out of respect.
Okay.
And then I will let you all know after the meeting. Okay?
Alright,
So,
a motion that we use the selected volunteer for the decorations, for the decorating for the luncheon.
For the amount of $200.
$200. For the amount of $200. I second that.
funny.
all in favor? Oh, you said, Keisha
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Keisha.
and Linda, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right.
Excuse me, what's our theme this year? I don't see a theme on here.
Accelerate action.
Accelerate action, did I not see missing that? Okay.
Somewhere, I see it somewhere.
Accelerate.
It was accelerate action because Daisy had pulled it up on her phone a couple of meetings ago.
Okay, but I didn't see it on the flyer like I did last time. I just wanted to make sure. Accelerate action.
Okay. All right, so
Decorations, we talked about the catering, we talked about invite, city flyers, QR code. Speaker.
all speakers and the panelists have confirmed. So we're looking forward to that. Oh, and also, the Economic Development Corporation is going to put on a small little presentation for us too. Slideshow, letting the community know what they're about and what's taking place in Michigan City. We're gonna have vendors, some vendors, we have some community resources, Franciscan Alliance is one, they're going to, what, are you doing screening?
Yeah, somebody, yeah.
So we have a couple, if you all know of any other community resources, please, reach out. I have some vendor forms which can also be utilized, as community resource forms as well, and you can have them fill it out, but just let me know so we can keep count of how many vendors is going to be there and how many community resources is going to be there.
How much does it cost per vendor?
Nothing.
Nothing, they can just set up.
Everything is free. It's a free event. Also, alcohol. Thank you very much, and you can let Andrew know. Not Andrew. Is it Andrew? Yeah. Andrew.
Mhm.
Andrew, because I get Andrew and Andy mixed up. Andy is the IT person for Michigan City. Okay, but we thank you because he's stating that you all will be there as well for Saturday. I don't know who he's gonna have there, but you all are gonna be there. Also, I'm going to ask a photographer to be there to see if he'll volunteer some time. If you all know a photographer, I didn't want to say it.
That's a sporting event.
Yeah, right. So I ain't gonna say his name, right, so. But if you all know of anyone, I was gonna ask him to.
Okay,
Okay, unless you want to, no?
let's see who they're gonna send, maybe.
Well, they are
Maybe
gonna,
using a camera. Might be the one,
right, so we need to ask,
Videotape.
last year was, Andrew,
okay.
he did it. And then I'm also gonna ask, by it being on a Saturday, can we still consider it as our monthly meeting? For Saturday, for March 8th?
I think, didn't we do that last time? We met afterwards. I think we did that last time.
We didn't meet afterwards. Last year,
Yeah, I think we did have like a small little meeting afterwards.
I don't recall it. I wasn't in it. I wasn't in that meeting.
Briefly. Yeah, we had a brief meeting afterwards.
Something like that, it was, yeah, kind of
Counted
impromptu,
as a
but it was just like,
Mhm.
But double check
Clean up or
though,
something.
see.
I can't because I think I was told that that would be our meeting. We could consider that as our meeting, but I'll double check, okay?
Yeah.
But I don't recall sitting in the meeting last year.
Yeah, it was just
After.
very small, brief.
Okay.
do you mean immediately following the event?
Yeah, but after the event, we just had like a little, yeah, we got the tables and
Because we
everything.
grabbed all the
So we
flyers.
were
and
talking,
tables.
Right.
so basically we was discussing as we were cleaning.
Right. We had a little table and we were just, briefly, it was not a big elaborate.
Surveys. I know that you discussed a little bit about it, Daisy. You gave recommendations or something regarding how we can go about doing surveys? Do you want to share that again?
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know Sarah also mentioned like having paper, but also a QR code so people do it, and stopping at some point, like before the end,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody could do the survey before they leave.
Do you think that maybe we should have it on the table, like just one QR code on the table, or do you think that we can have a QR code on the brochure, like the program that we're gonna hand to each person, and then like
And then you
during
tell
the
everybody,
program,
yeah,
we tell everyone
open up
if
your
you.
program, you can use the QR code, or here's the paper ones, maybe have a stack at the table or something.
Yes.
And then, like she said, stop, because that's the only way you're gonna get folks to do it.
Right, I think that's what Sarah has suggested, that in between the panelists speaking, we could take a few moments
Mhm.
and,
Or right before you close, because that won't let them just leave. So you said, can you fill that out? We got one more thing after you fill that out.
Well, with the QR code, you're not filling out, but I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about, I was gonna ask y'all too, what do you think about this? That I still print some off for the ones that don't know how to do the
yes,
QR
that
code.
work, that'll work.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we'll do the QR code too, and then, okay, so are we gonna have just a sheet with the QR code on the table or on the program? How is that gonna work?
Either way, program's fine if that's what you all think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Program is fine.
Okay.
It'd be less.
Well, that's what
Paper
people are
hand.
looking at, people be just
Yeah, they'll be
Mhm.
constantly.
constantly referring to it, so.
Right.
And then I'll have some hard copies as well.
Right.
You'll have to send me the questions though to put in a Google form
Okay.
and make the QR code so
Okay.
that they're the same.
Okay. Does anyone want to work on, do you want to work on those questions, Nyla?
The survey,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can. Well, I could send you some ideas and then, you can add to it or whatever. Because I have to do evaluation and surveys for like everything that I do.
Okay.
Everything. So I'm so used to that.
All right. Any other suggestions? I'll be there early. Does anyone, I'll be there early anyway, so I don't know what time you all are gonna arrive, whatever time, or can we say as for the committee, maybe since it starts at 1, that we be there at 11? Try to help man, or what you all think? What's the time? I'm asking.
I think 11 sounds good. 11 would be, if we start at
I gotta
1.
help set up the table.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll be there early anyway, okay?
I'll be there around that time.
Okay, so moving on, ooh, it's getting late. New business, we really didn't have any new business. The only thing that I was gonna share with you all is the grant writing workshop is still in place, but we just pushed it back a little bit. And I thought this is just a recommendation. Some of the monies that I really believe, balance that I really believe that we'll have left over from this event, maybe some of it can go towards, instead of us doing a later lunch or something, maybe we can do the grant workshop towards the morning, like on a Saturday or something, 9 to 12, and we'll have donuts, coffee, and juice for them, okay? Looking at maybe the spring, April, somewhere around there, April or May. Also, if you all are keep in mind about the gala, the fundraiser for us. And I don't want to say a gala because a couple of ideas was thrown out, and I thought they were good ideas. It could be a formal gala, or it could be a women's luncheon, like a tea, like a tea or something like that. Maybe in October, but we're trying to, if we do it in October instead of November, trying to stay away from the conference, and I'll let Nyla elaborate on that. And I believe her conference is more in the beginning of October.
It's for October 4th.
Okay, and so ours would be we will look more towards the end of October, like the middle towards the end of October. If we're gonna do, and I thought that was a good idea, like a women's tea luncheon, you know.
Where would it be held, at the Barker Mansion, at that little cottage that they have back there?
I would recommend, I was gonna recommend Blue Chip, and the only reason I was recommending Blue Chip is because they do have good pricing on the food, and we can get a good, profit off of the tickets or whatnot, and then not only that, we don't have to pay for that venue.
Okay.
Because how much we get in our menu, or not menu, the food cost, that's what I want to say. How much we get off the food cost, they deduct it from the venue, and so it ends up being free.
Okay.
But that would be a nice place, but we would have to pay for it.
Okay.
Unless we get sponsors, we would have to work hard for sponsors, but that would be really, really nice. So I will, and I thank you for that recommendation. Nyla, a couple of meetings ago, you were saying just put some categories out there to see who would like to work in what area, what's your expertise, like if it's maybe entertainment or the auction or items, donation, different things of that. So I'll get a list to see greeting, hostess, we're gonna need all of that, okay? But please keep in mind, and we'll come back next meeting to determine if we're gonna have like a formal, maybe formal evening gala fundraiser, or if we want women's tea brunch, or, you know, or luncheon. Nice tea, where the little tea hats, or what you call them, the little hats and stuff like that. That would be nice too.
What's it, Fascinators?
Is that called? Yeah, fascinators. Or fancy hats. Fancy hats. And we'll come up with a theme, a nice theme. So if you all can keep that in the back of your mind.
And seersuckers.
Or come up with some themes. You all, you know, think about some themes, and we can maybe work around the themes that you all think about. But we'll definitely have it after your event, because we definitely want to support one another, okay? So
big, I would hate for it to be, because that'll be a fundraiser too. Right?
ours will be a fundraiser.
Right.
But it'll be towards the end. Yours is in the beginning of October.
You know, I'm trying to think of everything that's going on in that month, and we don't
It's
want to
November.
compete. It'll be in November?
No. Ours will be in October. A lot of things are going on in November. You have the NAACP. You have sometimes, I think, is it Tone Conley?
Yeah.
He does his.
October, November.
So it's usually a lot that goes on in November. So that's why I recommended October. And that'll give us enough time to plan as well.
Okay.
But towards the end, we don't want to bump heads. We want to be more of a support to everybody, the community. Okay? All right. So, City Council liaison comments. Any comments, Daisy? Thank you so much again, Daisy, for all of your help. I thank each and every one of you all. I appreciate you all. Commissioners' comments. Keisha, any comments?
No.
None? Okay, got the name right. Lila, any comments? I know you have some comments.
No.
You're not ready yet
No.
okay, not to, okay. All right, any comments?
No.
Any comments?
No.
Okay, so, the mayor's gala is coming up in April. I don't know if you all want to think about us getting a table together. I know all of us, some of us represent different organizations and different things like that, so just wanted to be a support. So that is coming up. I'm trying to think of, is anything else in the community? Does anybody else know of anything else in the community coming up? Oh,
Yes.
Candace Adams. She's having the Teen Summit, and I believe that's coming up in April, maybe?
Yes.
I can pull it up. And you can get your tickets from her. It's a 2-day event, and it's going to be held at Blue Chip as well. So I do know that's coming up.
There is also on March 1st, the first annual Celebrating Naomi Anderson Day.
Who? Oh, okay.
And so that's at 1:30 p.m. at Westcott Park. That'll be the introduction to celebrate Naomi Anderson's sculpture. And then at 2 p.m., it'll be at the Michigan City Public Library, the unveiling of Cheryl Chapman's book, Turn It Around, Naomi Anderson's biography, and the premiere of Raina Siegel's documentary of Naomi's story as seen through the making of the sculpture by Bernard Williams.
That's on March 1st.
Yep, March 1st, starting at 1:30 p.m. at Westcott Park, and then at 2 p.m. at the library.
Awesome. I just had it.
Interesting.
Hers is, thank you. Candace Adams, her gala is the most influential youth in our region. Hers is April the 4th, and it's 2 days, I want to say. And I'm not certain of anything else taking place. Okay. No public comments. Thank you all for coming out, meeting, and we'll see you all at the celebration. Does anyone wanna,
I move that our meeting be adjourned.
anyone wanna second it?
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Thank you.